Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We as them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Rumpus in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Con-Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, we are coming to you on a Tuesday. Do not change the station, ladies and gentlemen. You are here, and we are here together, giving you, that's right, the raw deal with Howse and O'Neal, giving it to you guys a day early. And I actually like that. I like that vibe because we're just hot off of Monday Night Raw last night. So instead of sitting on it for another day like we would do from Tuesday moving into Wednesday, a lot to talk about, especially coming out of this past Monday Night Raw, which was a taped show. And honestly, a pretty damn good taped show, if I do say so myself. But when it is Wednesday and we go Raw, I don't do that by myself. I have the insanely talented, divinely designed Annie O'Neal. She always comes on, and guess what? She is back here, and we're going to talk all things Monday Night Raw. What is going on, Annie?
What's up? It feels so good to be back on the airwaves, ruling them with you. Like, I'm ready, and let's give it to them raw.
Most definitely.
What they ask for, why deny them? Why deny them?
I agree.
No, exactly.
We're going to give it to them raw because, once again, I said it was a good Monday Night Raw for a taped show, and we're going to break all that down, talk about that. But I do want to bring up a couple of things because it's been a couple of weeks since me and you have got a chance to get together and do this. You know, I'm doing my thing over at my shoot job, and it's requiring more time. Holidays are coming up and whatnot. If you know, you know. But you know, we didn't get a chance to talk about the fact that you came off of a huge interview when you got a chance to right there, frontline pro with intensity, integrity, intelligence, the Olympic hero himself, Kurt Angle, and you did a great job. How was that moment for you?
It was almost surreal, but I've been putting in enough work, putting in enough reps, and really taking any feedback that I've been given and really turning that into something that I can use. So, you know, it's just amazing the things that simple thought processes can give you. Because if Annie 10 years ago would never think that she would be in the same room, let alone giving an interview to one of the most incredible athletes in the world. And honestly, the whole opportunity from Frontline Pro came from being on this show right here.
Hey, that's what we love to hear.
So, and like you said it yourself, this opportunity begets more opportunities. So yeah, it was amazing. I had to remember how to, you know, use words and how to sound intellectual at the same time, because I'm just so starstruck. I'm like, oh my God, this Kurt fucking Angle.
That's all right. As you do more of those type of interviews, it'll get easier. I promise you that.
And it's so funny because, you know, I'm a grappler, so it's hard to, you know, the muscle memory doesn't just shut off, like it's a part of who I am. So in my
Right.
picture on my title or my cover picture on Facebook, someone pointed out that I was doing a gable grip in my interview. Oh, it was my instructor, and I'm like, I so am. I have a gable grip while I'm talking to Kurt Angle, and that's just hilarious because I had no idea I was doing it. So yeah,
That's
it was
amazing.
awesome. It was awesome. So
What a great interview. If you guys haven't got a
yeah,
chance to check that out, go back and check that out because it was most definitely great. That's what I
yeah.
love about what we do here at In Your
Mhm.
House. So many talented people coming together. You had Voice. He just had, we did the Sabu interview.
Yes,
That
yes,
was
that was
great. Just a great
incredible.
episode. Such a good episode.
What out of all of the interviews you've done in your time, what one were you the most nervous for, if any?
It's nervous is because like I don't really get nervous like that when I talk to these
Sure.
talents anymore, just because I've talked to so many of them.
Yeah.
Just trying to my whole goal is to try to get them comfortable to be able
Mhm.
tell these stories. And going
Mhm.
into the Sabu interview, I was like, well, he would like when me and him linked and connected, he was very
Mhm.
cool. He was very
Yeah.
chill, and if you see Sabu and you see him wrestle like myself and Voice do every single week on the ECW Watch Along series, ECW Hardcore TV, he's a very intense guy. So
Mhm.
to get him like very chill and laid back, that was
Mhm.
what I was going for. And in turn, because
Mhm.
he himself felt comfortable, we got an amazing interview out of him.
Mhm. That's incredible. And just it's all about the reps. It's all about just doing it and just like you said, have a conversation with someone. So, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes, it was
Awesome.
it was a great one. But and Tony's saying, OG Tony, he was congratulating you. He said this show was not taped, so maybe it's just SmackDown. So that's fine. It was a
That
good
could be.
show. It was
Yeah.
a good show, but I was definitely
Mhm.
going to talk about it. And
Yep.
what we're leading to is obviously Survivor Series. And before we really break down Monday Night Raw leading into Survivor Series, we got to talk about Survivor Series and what we're going to be doing. Our live podcast that's going down this Saturday, Kokomo, Indiana. That is going down at House Records. It's going to be a great vibe. You guys can talk to Annie and ask her about her Kurt Angle interview. You guys can
Absolutely.
get with myself and Voice and ask us about our Sabu interview. We are going to be giving you guys our predictions right there for a Survivor Series War
Mhm.
Games live on that show. We're also going to be playing That's True, That Might Be True, That's Ridiculous, and then
Oh.
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna go over great live.
Oh yeah.
Go over
Oh
great.
yeah.
And then we're going to be answering questions from you guys out there in the household. We're going to have the podium ready for you guys to come up and ask us questions, and we will discuss anything that you guys want to discuss wrestling wise. It's going to be a great event with many prizes given out. We have an awesome prize right here because speaking of the man that Annie, her milestone interview, we have this right here, signed photo from Kurt Angle himself, signed pop figure, Kurt Angle, right there. We're raffling that off Saturday, along with a lot of other great prizes and awesome things. It's going to be an amazing time. You're going to see some great personalities like myself, like Annie O'Neill, like Ray Larson, Relentless Ray Larson. She's going to be there. That's going to be excellent. The Chaos Goblin, Kevin Calloway, he's going to be at the chop station. If you want to, are you man enough to take a chop? Let's see how are you bad? Are you bad that you can take a chop? Go check out what Kevin Calloway is doing there. We're going to be having a great time. Annie, Saturday is coming fast. It's
It
unbelievable that it's
really
actually
is.
almost here.
I think we started talking about this in September. No, probably before that,
I think
honestly.
it was a little before that.
Yeah. It's wow. Like I said, what is the baby going to look like? It feels like it's still being incubated right now because it's Tuesday, not
Yep.
Saturday. But Tuesday, Kokomo, Indiana. I don't know if they're going to know what to do with us all. But
It's
that's
a
not my
lot of
problem.
personalities. It's a lot of personalities, but it's going to be great and
Absolutely.
an entertaining time. You're going to have the Kokomo Press's Courtney Richardson, who's going to be the master of ceremonies there. She's going to do an excellent job. And once again, Outhouse Records, come see everything that we're doing because it's going to be a great, great time with many great talents coming through. And, Survivor Series is going to be big. And Annie, we moved a lot of stories along on this past Monday Night Raw to lead up
Mm-hmm.
to this Survivor Series. We're definitely going to break things down and whatnot, but I got to ask you overall, what were your
Mm-hmm.
thoughts on this episode of Monday Night Raw?
I really enjoyed that we are finally getting to this place that really sets us up nicely before we go to Netflix. It's it's becoming more raw. It felt very gritty. Like there were some really dark moments on this episode of Raw, and like you didn't know if Jade Cargill died. What happened to
Yeah,
her?
yeah,
What happened to Scarlet? What happened to fucking Scarlet?
yeah.
Like,
What did Nikki Cross do to her?
yes. And what did the writing in the mirror mean? Oh,
A lot of things to think about when it comes to Monday Night Raw. And you're making a good point here, Annie, because that the reason that I say that is because even with, I mean, you could easily just be focusing on the bloodline
mhm,
stuff
mhm,
and whatnot, which of course the bloodline storyline is going great, or Gunther and
right,
Damian Priest kind of having Gunther on the ropes,
mhm,
and whatnot. There's a lot of stories moving there, but still, even then, we have stories like the prominence of Chad Gable and
yes.
American Made and him twisting Rey Mysterio's mask around to get it,
See,
because I was a little
I've
bit
never
critical.
seen anyone like anything like that.
Yeah, that was different. It was definitely different thinking,
Mhm,
but I was at a kind of at a pivotal point in that match
mhm,
because I was like, man, we have had Gable out of the Intercontinental title scene for about a year now.
mhm,
He was doing stuff with the Wyatts, and now he's changed teams, and now he's meshing with American Made, the Creeds, and Ivy Nile. And
mhm.
I'm like, man, I don't know if them losing to LWO on a Monday Night Raw is the move right now. Like
Sure.
I know that it was the Creeds, and I also gotta say this. I love the
Mhm,
fact that we got a tornado tag team match. Like we don't get a whole lot of tornado tags,
mhm.
and it was just a Monday Night Raw. And I was like, you know what? Let's do a tornado tag. I loved that because I don't think we get enough of those.
And there were so many moving parts to this match that were very interesting. Like, I mean, obviously the um, LWO is stylistically way different than American Made, but just to see four different individuals move like so synchronously was
Yeah.
so interesting. Like different parts of the engine like moving at once. Like it was really cool to see.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. I enjoyed the action. It just my mindset was, man, the Creeds and American Made, they've got to start
Mhm.
winning. Like
Mhm.
that was my mindset, is that they got to start. So I'm glad they picked up the
Mhm.
victory.
And that was the
So
right time to do it.
yeah, yeah, it was the right time. It was definitely the right time to do it. I agree with that. But
And
it's
that's
just little stuff like
mhm.
that.
And that's
Like
so
we have
funny
stuff.
that you yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's so interesting that you bring that up because, when American Made's music, you know, was started to play, I was like, man, I really like so many different things that are present, but I feel like it's either things have to start happening for them to keep my attention, and I want my attention there, but
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I agree. It's just
mhm,
I just think they're at a point right now where it's like they're just trying to keep them on TV, but
mhm,
there's so much other things going on right now, especially with Survivor Series coming up,
mhm,
that it's like somebody's gotta be the lower card. And I think that's where they are right now.
mhm. And and someone's got to be there because there's only so much TV time, but
Hmm.
it's yeah, I get it. It's kind of a complicated spot, but a necessary one at the same time.
And I could predict that things could
Mhm.
change come January because
Mhm.
we know that Monday Night Raw is going back to 3 hours. SmackDown will also be three
Oh,
hours. Yeah, both of
okay.
them will now be 3 hours. And
Mhm.
honestly, I was like, oh, these 2 hour shows, I like them in a
Yeah.
crunch. But now that I've been watching a few 2 hours of few episodes of 2 hour
Mhm.
Monday Night Raws, I'm like, yeah, they kind of do need that third hour. I mean,
Right.
their 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 roster is just so incredibly stacked that not everybody's getting the chance to get
Right.
significant enough TV time. And then you have the introduction of the Women's United States Championship,
Right.
and then
Right.
last night they introduced the Women's Intercontinental Championship. You kind of need that third hour, especially since the
Right.
women are main eventing, the tag
Right.
team division is relevant, and the mid card is now going
Mhm.
to gain relevancy with the mid card title. The women are clicking on all cylinders. You kind of need that third hour because the women are really taking over the shows right now.
And that's exactly what I was going to bring up because the women's division is only ramping up. So for everyone to get the amount of screen time that they deserve, I yeah, it makes sense to go back to 3 hours.
I think Voice, he said something to me in one of our
Mhm.
chats, and he was like, Monday Night Raw should just be 7 to 10
Yeah,
instead of 8 to 11. And I was like, yeah, I can get behind that. I
I
could get
like
behind.
that.
I like that. I did just do 7 to 10. Friday Night SmackDown could still be 8 to 11 because it's Friday night and most people are off
Right.
on Saturdays. But yeah, if you make Monday Night Raw 7 to 10, I think that would be really good.
That would make sense for a lot of, well, adults who have to work on a
Tuesday, yeah.
on a Tuesday morning. Yeah.
And it's a lot. I'm one of the few people I know that's off on Tuesdays. I don't know nobody else
Uh-huh.
who's off on Tuesdays.
I'm
So
off on Wednesdays, but like, you know what? I used to make fun of my dad for falling asleep at 7:30 on a Tuesday while he couldn't even stay awake long enough to watch the end of the news. But I became that person, so it's really hard for me to stay up till
it
11.
is.
So,
It is.
so
It is.
seven.
It's hard for me.
I'm
Even if the
selfish.
story's
7 to
good.
10, right? 7 to 10 works for me. So I want what I want. So,
Yeah, yeah, I like that idea for sure.
hmm,
OG Tony, yes, trust me, I'm gonna be talking heavily about the
you
New Day
sure will.
storyline. It's yeah, trust me, we're getting there. But I just wanted to go overall on this episode of Monday Night Raw because it was a really good one, and
Hmm.
they really did a good job. One thing that I noticed from this Monday Night Raw is I think they did
Hmm.
a really good job of filling out the rest of the card for Survivor Series War Games. They did a
Yes.
really good job
It was
because you
almost
have,
seamless. Hmm.
yeah, it really was. It really was. 'Cause that's what I'm saying. Like
Right.
the way that they have the obviously the main draw is gonna be Bloodline,
Hmm.
Civil War Games. That's the big one.
Hmm.
And they've done a really good job of weaving the women's War Games match together. I
Yes.
really enjoyed how they've done that. And then you have Gunther and Damian Priest. They're going to be competing for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is going to be a Damian Priest rematch after getting screwed by Finn Balor at SummerSlam. And then they added a triple threat match for the
Yes.
Intercontinental
Yes.
Championship, which is going to involve Sheamus, who's chasing his first ever IC title run to be like, I think like a triple crown champion or something like that, because he's
Yeah.
held
Yeah.
everything else. He's
Because
held
I was
everything
about to
else.
say, I don't know if he's ever held the IC belt.
He hasn't. That's the one title that's eluded him.
I mean, if it's gonna happen, it might happen at Survivor Series.
Right. It's a strong possibility. But then what if it's Ludwig Kaiser? That
Which
that could that would just throw everybody.
he's
That would
just
throw everybody.
phenomenal. I absolutely enjoy watching Ludwig Kaiser. He is one of my favorite people on Raw. I just see so much potential, and I love that he is even in a title picture. That
Yeah, it's great that he's here.
and like he isn't he has a lot of depth, and his character work is only. I can't wait to see what he's capable of. So
Oh yeah. I like the fact that he's in there. I don't have high probability that he's
mhm,
going to win, but man,
no,
what if he did?
but damn, is he entertaining? Oh, I had a
He
question for you.
yeah.
So, Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley were arguing over the last member of their team. Do
Yeah.
you think that's foreshadow of a different title picture that we might be seeing?
Are you saying the tag titles?
I mean, like if Rhea gets her belt back, do you think she might stand off with Bianca Belair?
I don't. It's interesting. So let's go back to Jade here for a second,
Yeah,
because whatever injury Jade is dealing with, it's looking like it's writing her off of TV. So I suspect that the women's tag titles are going to be vacated,
sure, that makes sense.
which would make sense. We saw Bianca Belair have a really good performance last night in the main event against Nia Jax. I think I've said it on this show before that when you unleash Bianca Belair, we all know what it's easy to forget because she's been in this tag team. But last night was a good reminder that when she's all on her own in the ring and not having to, not saying that she's carrying Jade or anything like that. Jade's doing her part, but like she doesn't have to turn herself down. She could go off in the ring like we've known her to do.
She's not like guiding.
Yeah. She's just doing her art, without having to worry about somebody else and making them look good. And it could be time for Bianca Belair back in the main title picture.
After the performance she gave last night, yes. Like
it's easy to forget how good she really is.
Like you said, I mean, her energy was spent bringing someone else up.
Yeah,
and that's exactly why Jade Cargill was in a tag team with Bianca Belair. So I mean, sometimes we have those seasons where it's about bringing someone else up, but that's only season. It doesn't last forever, or it's suspended indefinitely. But yeah, it felt like Bianca Belair kicked it into full throttle last night.
Yeah, and it was great. It was great to see. So of course we've talked a little bit about Jade, and we know we've got a whodunit going on. I mean, and that's the crazy thing. When was the last time we had a good whodunit in WWE? Like,
I couldn't tell you.
It's good to see, because now it's like the question is, we have, and this goes back to what I was saying, we have things moving, beyond Survivor Series, whether it be the 10 years of New Day, whether it be who done it, who pushed Jade Cargill off the ledge into the car. We have storylines going past that, and we saw that Bianca had a little assist last night from somebody who she's had all kinds of trouble trusting in the past for a good reason, and that's Bayley. And Bayley's involved now. Bayley could end up being that fifth member of the Survivor Series team after building some trust with Bianca Belair last night on Monday Night Raw.
I mean, and I'm sure other teammates will not be pleased with that decision, but they're gonna have to get over it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if not Bayley, who might be another alternative? Bayley makes the perfect sense to me.
Yeah. Bayley makes a whole lot of sense. It's going to be very interesting. I really like this women's War Games match and what can come of it. And you have somebody like the element of Io Sky, who always shows out every single War Games match. This is like her match where she just does crazy things for the sake of it. Like it's and they were talking about it on Window Lickers a little bit about how Io Sky is equivalent. Her being in a War Games match is like equivalent of seeing Kofi Kingston in a Royal Rumble. You're just thinking, what crazy thing is she going to do? Just like Kofi Kingston did crazy things to not get eliminated in the Royal Rumble. What crazy thing is Io Sky going to do in a War Games match? This has very much become her signature match.
It's like all of the things that are excluded from regular television, and that she gets to actually do them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
you can't tell me what to do here.
Yep, and she's just gonna do crazy insane, and I love it. I love it. I love the element of Io Sky every single year in a War Games match. But
One
a
thing I'm
lot,
not looking forward to is
yeah.
Nia and Bailey interacting again. I mean, I wasn't a fan of the matches that they've had. I wasn't,
Oh, the feud they had.
yeah, no, it just missed the mark for me. So, I mean, and sometimes with people who have way different styles, like they just don't work well, and I can just see it.
Yeah.
So that's the only element I'm not really looking forward to. But I'm just.
I think with somebody like Nia Jax, an ideal opponent for her would be somebody like an Io Sky.
Sure.
Somebody who's
Right.
gonna get quick offense on her, and somebody also who Nia Jax can throw around. You know, like I think that element of big man or woman wrestler versus smaller, speedy wrestler is always those are always the elements of a pretty good match.
Like the underdog versus the impossible task.
Yeah. Yep.
But,
and it's always entertaining and fun to see it most times. And I think we'll definitely see that in War Games. We saw that the advantage went to Team Bianca Belair as she won the matches, like we said. But this whole thing with Survivor Series, once again, like I said, it's filling out because they also announced last night that LA Knight is going to be defending the United States Championship against a returning Shinsuke Nakamura, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't know they was going to put that together that fast.
Yeah,
I thought we might have seen that maybe as soon as like Saturday Night Main Event in December, but it's happening now, and I think this is really good to fill out the card. I'm glad Cody's not on the show because it's just I'm not saying anything against Cody. It's just
I think it'd be overloaded.
It'd be over. That's exactly my point.
It would have been way too much.
Yep. Where it's at is where it needs to stay at. And
I feel like there are already enough titles being defended. So.
Oh yeah. You got 3 titles being defended in 2 War Games matches.
And how many titles do you think are going to change hands?
Without saying who, because I want to save it for Saturday. Without saying who, I think that
you passed the test.
I think 1 title would change hands.
Yes. Okay.
So yes, I think 1 will change hands. And once again, we'll talk about that. That's going to be great on Saturday. But I mean, this Monday Night Raw, I really want to talk a little bit more and break down the New Day thing because I wanted to make sure that we got there because that was heavy. You saw it yourself. You got to look at it. This got really intense, really super intense.
Right. And when when Alpha Academy won, I was confused because it was not a long match at all, and I was like, did this just happen? I was on the edge of my seat, just like yelling at the TV. I was like, what is going on? And then like just the outburst between Woods and Kofi, it was like I felt it like emanating off the screen. I was like,
oh yeah,
oh shit.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen Kofi that mad before.
Right. Like, he's just one of those people that just smiles all the time. Like, the worst things in his life could be partaking at that time, and he's just happy. But like that was raw, genuine emotion. Like you said, I haven't seen that before from Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, most definitely. Just seeing it and thinking about how heavy that it was, and I want to make sure that we feel that I got it right here. I wanted to make sure I pulled it up.
And I thought it was really interesting how we were baited with something that was really
It's because you have not been good enough.
Dang.
And that is not my fault. Good enough, huh? I was good enough to fight for you, wasn't I? I was good enough to take your beatings for you, wasn't I? I was good enough to believe in you, wasn't I? Just like they believed in you. And what did we do with that belief? We turned it into Kofi Mania and we handed it to you. And what did you do with that, Kofi? You pissed it away on a silver platter in 6 seconds to Brock Lesnar. I swear to God, if you were anybody else... If I was what, Kofi? If I was somebody else, you'd finally get mad? I see you at the reunion. Brother. Yeah. See you at the anniversary. See you.
Woo. Man, that was intense.
There were a couple things I really appreciated about that scene. I liked how that altercation didn't occur in the middle of the ring in front of all of the fans. Like, that was something that was very real, but it was private.
Yep.
And it's like, damn, how long have you been holding these things in? Like, if you really love it, like, tell someone. If you're like, damn.
Yeah, it was heavy.
And I really like how right before this happened, we were baited with this celebratory little segment with all the things the New Day has accomplished, and it was amazing, and it made you feel good that, wow, 10 years of the New Day. And then, like, 5 minutes later, we had a
roller coaster ride.
It really was. It really, really, really was.
Watching from Florida, we appreciate you, of course, as
hello.
always. Hey, yes, we always appreciate Ken coming in, but yeah, this was seriously heavy. I mean, you just saw the footage there from the WWE Instagram page. I just wanted to give us a little refresher real quick, and it was intense. And like, they're going into the 10 years of New Day next week. I can't even gather to tell you what would happen. I mean, what do you think, Annie? Because it's like, this could implode next week. Do we see Big E come in, try to tie it all together? What are you thinking?
If there's only one person who's going to be able to rectify that situation, it's going to be Big E. But that's something I don't know until we see it, because, I mean, both of them have, like, they both have a pure motive for why they're in the situation that they are. I mean, both of them share equal fault. So where is it going to take us from here? So I honestly, and also, how much of this and the undoing that is Woods right now, how much of that is the effect of Karrion Kross?
That's always got to be something in the back of your mind when it comes to Xavier Woods, because Karrion Kross did put those thoughts in his head. That is where this all started. And that's very important to note. But I have a thought about next week, Annie.
Tell me.
So Xavier is the one who has been really dealing with the fact that he's not had any single success. His two partners have. And, you know, there's obviously some frustration, maybe some jealousy there. I think there's a possibility that we've had this long wait for Xavier Woods to make that switch and turn it up. And I think that there's a strong possibility it could be next week. We see the return of Big E, and they're celebrating in the middle of the ring. They're 10 years and everything. And something happens. Maybe they have chairs in there for them to have a seat and do something like that. I can see a reality where Xavier Woods puts the knife in Big E's back first before he puts it in Kofi's.
Why?
Because the heel turn will mean a whole lot more if he turns on a returning Big E, because Big E obviously hasn't been seen on TV for a long time. We don't know if he's coming back at all. I don't know if he can take any physicality, but if he could even take a chair shot to the back and just sell that from Xavier Woods would solidify himself as a massive heel if he put the knife in Big E's back first and then finish the job by taking Kofi out. Xavier stands tall over both of them in this anniversary, and he walks out on both of them laying down in the ring.
I want to see it. I mean, I don't want to see it, but I want to see it. I mean,
this is how you take Xavier to that next level, I believe.
What else can New Day accomplish? What else can they do? They've done it all. You know? Every new day has to have its, the sun has to set on it.
Yep.
Saying.
I'm just saying that if they're going to do it, obviously, whatever they're doing, it's got to come next week. And I think that Big E is going to show up, and I think that Big E is going to be the turning point, the pivotal point in the Xavier Woods heel turn.
I mean, quite realistically, you can't have 10 years of New Day without Big E being involved.
So he's got to be there in some capacity.
Exactly.
And it's just a perfect opportunity for them to pull the trigger and go full steam ahead on the Xavier Woods heel turn.
And that's one thing I really appreciate, the turning of the tides in WWE right now. Like, the context is only getting deeper. And I think that would be a really critical moment for that to happen.
Yeah, I truly do too. I think that that's going to be what you need to do to get Xavier to that next level, and it's going to be really interesting to see, because this is just part of the storylines, like I was talking about, that we have to look forward to past Survivor Series, and we're getting there. It's coming quick, and we're definitely going to talk more things Monday Night Raw leading up to Survivor Series. We still got to dig a little bit deeper into the Civil War games of the Survivor Series. We got the new bloodline versus the old bloodline. We're definitely going to dig into that. But before we do, we're going to take a little break, pay a few bills, and then when we come back from break, we're going to continue this discussion of Monday Night Raw and Survivor Series.
Exciting things are happening at the Kokomo Press. Yeah, very exciting things. Not only are we bringing you comedy shows, an open mic once a week, skits, videos, funny jokes on our page, and satire news stories, but now you can support us by going to kokomopress.shop. It's that simple. You go to kokomopress.shop, you find a t-shirt, you find a hat, maybe in the future some stickers and some posters. You go on there, you buy one of those from us, and percentage of the proceeds will go to us and help support what we do. We appreciate every person who just likes, subscribes, does all that. But if you go to kokomopress.shop and you buy something, we'll know who you are. You send us a photo of it. We will post it on our page and shout it out. Thank you so much. Go to kokomopress.shop, buy all your shirts and hats needs, and support the Kokomo Press. Thank you guys so much. kokomopress.shop.
What is up, guys? What is cracking? It is pro wrestling manager, commentator, podcaster, and executive producer of the In Your House Wrestling Podcast, the Con Man, Alaconda Concept House, and I'm in your house to tell you about an amazing event that we're doing November 30th over in Kokomo, Indiana at Outhouse Records. Guys, it is going to be our first ever live In Your House party. It's going to be a movie, ladies and gentlemen. So much things going on. Live bands, and they're going to be playing your favorite wrestling themes. We're going to have wrestlers, costume contests, games that you can win prizes. So many awesome prizes. Over $1,000 worth of prizes. Come out and raffle for a chance to win some of these excellent prizes. And hey, I got a little bit of a sneak preview for you guys of what that you guys could win. And one of those things is AEW World Heavyweight Champion Jon Moxley. Look at that awesome figure. But ladies and gentlemen, that's not it. You're going to see him competing in War Games. against the Bloodline 2.0. That's the tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns. Another great prize that you could win if you come in. Get some tickets to raffle, and you could be getting some awesome prizes, such as what I just showed you, and so much more. Once again, we're going to be doing our first ever live podcast where we're going to be giving you our predictions for Survivor Series War Games, and it's going to be myself, the hometown hero, master of ceremonies, Hypocrisy Jones, our game master, the voice, Josh Joseph, the amazing divinely designed Danny O'Neill, and of course the Chaos Goblin himself, Kevin Calloway. Come and join us as we're going to be having an awesome time right before Survivor Series War Games. We're going to be talking wrestling, giving away prizes, playing wrestling themes. Guys, you need to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you November 30th for the In Your House party. Peace.
In your house with O'Kon. Hey, O'Kon in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front.
Hello everyone, it's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
And then when I catch you, I'll tickle you. Yeah, I'll tickle you. Yeah, because I just can't stand you. Oh.
Hey, Barry?
Hey, Jordan.
Hey, man, what are you doing?
I'm practicing for the pipe bomb challenge.
Oh, the pipe bomb challenge at the In Your House party at Howse Records, right?
Can I get some privacy, guys?
Oh, my bad, fam. Yo,
Oh,
Barry,
sorry.
let's go out here.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, so, Barry, promos might not be your thing, but that's okay. We got other games that we're going to have. So, like, can you draw?
I can draw a fly.
Do you mean flies?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's okay. How about wrestling trivia?
I know Nick Fleur. Whee!
I don't think that's his name, or never mind. It's okay. How about, do you listen to podcasts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're in luck because the In Your House podcast is going to be hosting their first live podcast right here at Howse Records.
Right here.
Right here, bro.
How much?
Bro, it's only $5.
I have $5.
That's what's up.
I have a cash register.
Yeah, that $5, it gets you in, and it gets you a chance to win other prizes like this. Wow. Isn't that cool? Wow. I know, right?
Friday, November 30th, In Your House presents the In Your House Party, live at Outhouse Records. Come hang out with pro wrestlers, play games, win prizes, plus special appearances by the Chaos Goblin, Kevin Calloway, Relentless, Ray Larson. All ages welcome. Outhouse Records, 109 East Sycamore Street in downtown Kokomo.
Welcome back to In Your House, and you guys already know the vibes. It is the Raw Deal with Howse and O'Neill, and I'm hoping that Barry is there at Outhouse Records to get a chance to hang out with a puppet. I think that'd be fun hanging out with a puppet.
Yes, I think you should be guest of honor.
Yeah, that'd be great. You know, I think Hype did a good job. He'd be great in Sesame Street, bro. We might have to get my man a spot on Sesame Street.
I've the puppetry. It's a undiscovered talent. I don't know if he definitely.
Yeah, definitely he's in there, and we are in here talking a little bit of Monday Night Raw. A lot of great things happening and coming out of it, and we talked a whole lot of things. I know one big thing I've been saying is that I've been, at least especially the earlier half of this year, I was very focused in on the happenings of one Finn Balor, and I was always saying you got to watch out for him. You got to watch out for him. I will say this and don't get me wrong, he's still a tag team champion and everything. But like after that Damian Priest feud, like I think the Balor stock dropped off. Like it really has. And it's like, I don't know. I know they picked up the win against the War Raiders last night. And I think the War Raiders need to be the next tag team champions because honestly, the tag team division on Monday Night. I thought they were going to win last night too. I thought it was the time.
Yeah, same.
I got to say the tag titles on Monday Night Raw are absolutely drowning, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are. I mean, we know who the tag team champions over on Friday nights are. It's the Motor City Machine Guns. The tag team division in on SmackDown is heating up. I think the tag team division is suffering a little bit on Monday Night Raw, and that's why you've seen Balor and JD McDonough only have what was their second title defense in like 150 days of being champions. They got to do something because the tag title is fading, and Finn Balor, who's an incredible overall performer, he's just not a pivotal point, especially right now, and all that happening. There's a lot of big moving parts going on right now in the WWE, whether it be on Raw or SmackDown, and it feels like Finn Balor is not in on that.
You know, and I really feel like Damian Priest was that driving factor for Finn Balor. Like on paper, Finn Balor he checks all of the boxes, but there's just something I don't know that is not present within Finn Balor. Like he needs to be surrounded by a team of people, I feel. And you know, Damien's doing other things. So, and I don't know what misses the mark for Finn Balor. And he's a phenomenal performer. But yeah, the Judgment Day, it's kind of losing a little steam for me. Just a little bit.
I'm glad you said that because I was thinking the exact same thing. Same thing.
You know, like the run-in last night during the tag match, I'm like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah. It's the same song and dance.
Right. And so, yeah, something's got to change. I mean, and there's been so much focus on the budding women's division that, you know, not everything can get the attention that it needs. It just it doesn't work like that. So, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I just think it's a thing where the tag teams on Monday Night Raw are not locked in tag teams. I mean, look at who we have. We have American Made, who are not even focused on the tag titles right now.
Right.
Probably should be at some point coming up around the corner. The War Raiders are just kind of re-establishing themselves as a tag team. Like we know they've been a tag team, but they're trying to do something a little bit different to re-establish themselves. Then you have the New Day, who are doing something. Alpha Academy, New Day, who's completely doing something different. Their focus is nowhere near the tag titles right now.
Right. And I don't. Who else?
There's really not much. So it's like, I'm not just putting it all on Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Obviously, the tag title scene on Monday Night Raw is lacking. And that's kind of what it boils down to, is that it's lacking, you know? But I mean, there's got to be something to kind of put a shot in the arm of that tag division, because when you look over at SmackDown and you see the Motor City Machine Guns there, you have, you know, the Gorillas of Destiny there over there with the Bloodline. They just lost the tag titles just a few weeks ago. You still got the Street Profits, you know. Whatever's going on with DIY, they're kind of budding and doing something a little bit different right now, with Tommaso Ciampa kind of breaking off and doing his own thing. But still a lot of teams there. I mean, even if you want to go to the lower card with like Pretty Deadly or somebody like that, like there's there's a lot of established teams over on SmackDown, and honestly on Raw, there's really just not a lot of locked in teams.
I mean, and it's hard to give Judgment Day matches if there really no one to give the matches against.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, and we've said it before. Now that we've said it here, maybe we'll get what we want.
For sure.
We have these predictive conversations and then we see them occur. So I just want to remind everyone that they heard it here on the Raw Deal with Howse and O'Neal first.
Yeah, and they normally do, because there are a lot of stuff we've said has come true. Like I would definitely like not be shocked if what I said about Xavier Woods happens next week. Like at this point, it's not that shocking anymore. And when I think about it, it makes sense. But what we do got to talk about is all things that's going down with War Games on the men's side, because this has really panned out into something big. And we saw the integration of Bronson Reed into the Bloodline 2.0. And then as we saw last Friday on SmackDown, we saw the return of the Wise Man, and he brings in one of his other Paul Heyman guys, and that is CM Punk, to be the 5th member of War Games. And a lot going on, because this Friday you have Jacob Fatu going up against Jey Uso in their advantage match to see who gains the advantage in War Games. And we're seeing a lot, because it's been a year since Punk returned to the company, and it happened at Survivor Series when he returned. And now we're going to see him involved in Survivor Series as a participant in the War Games match. This match right here, I would be flabbergasted. I wouldn't even be shocked. I'd be absolutely flabbergasted if this didn't main event. It's going to be a huge match. What are you thinking about all these combustible elements in this match, whether it be Bronson Reed or even now CM Punk?
I was talking about this with Kevin last night. I mean, I think the women's match has to be the first one.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And the men's War Games match would clearly be the main. It has to be. I mean, there's too many moving parts for it not to be the entire epicenter of War Games. But man, what do you think Seth Rollins is going to have to say about CM Punk being the last member?
He's definitely going to have something to say. He's definitely. I can't see reality where he's not. I mean, he hates CM Punk more than anybody else in the company. He's going to be coming in and helping out the guy who he also hates, that being Roman Reigns.
Right.
It's gotten really messy. It's gotten a lot of, and I like it, because a lot of things are getting twisted in there. Like a lot of people were like, "Oh, CM Punk, random that he would come and help." No, it's not. He's a Paul Heyman guy. Like, of course, there's not a chance where he's going to be okay with Solo Sikoa power bombing Paul Heyman through a table. Him and the Bloodline power bombing him through a table and not have nothing to say about it.
Were you surprised when it was CM Punk?
I was a little surprised. I wasn't surprised when I saw Paul Heyman. I was more surprised to see Paul Heyman, because when I saw Paul Heyman, I didn't think it was going to be anybody else besides Punk once he got to that point. I do believe that, but the big surprise for me was Heyman, and because I didn't know when he was coming back. That's the thing.
Yeah,
there was a lot of opportunities where I thought he was going to come back and he didn't, and now he's back. But I will say this. His attire was very interesting to me. And I said this on the Sunday house party. His attire was very interesting to me. He had on, I've never seen Heyman wear a black suit with a red shirt and a red, a pocket piece coming out. And he wore it, and it looked a lot like Solo Sikoa's suit that he wears. So there could be a possibility, a reality. I'm not making predictions or anything like this. I think there's a possibility where Paul Heyman could possibly turn on Roman Reigns and CM Punk.
I mean, to drive the storylines even deeper, like, that would be an absolutely fantastic point to do that.
Plus, it makes guys. Can you imagine? And once again, this is just me kind of recycling
Roman
what I
Reigns
was
would
saying
never
on
see
Sunday.
it coming either.
No, he wouldn't. He sure wouldn't. But also, it gives Paul an opportunity to manage different talent. Could you imagine Jacob Fatu walking down to the ring being flanked by Paul Heyman? It would be great for him. Could you imagine Bronson Reed being flanked by Paul Heyman? That'd be great for his career. Like, and one thing I gotta say about Bronson Reed real quick is this guy is doing a great job of being in the places he needs to be to up his trajectory. It all started when he gave those 6 tsunamis to Seth Rollins back in the summer, and now he's just found different ways to keep himself relevant, and now he's found a new way to keep himself relevant by aligning himself with the new bloodline. Bronson Reed is moving at a pace right now where he could be main eventing in about a year or so.
Giving internal bleeding to whomever he crosses paths with.
Yep. Could you imagine that chaos being controlled by the wise man Paul Heyman?
I want to see it. I want to see it.
That's what I'm
I want to
saying.
see
That's
it.
what we said on Sunday.
I just got really excited.
That's what we were saying on Sunday. It's a big possibility to really take this in a completely different direction.
Unhinged Paul Heyman is my absolute favorite.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to instigate it. Like, yes, please.
Because here's the thing. Once again, this is almost me kind of giving away my prediction. I'm trying not to, but like, if Team Roman Reigns and the OG Bloodline win, what's next? What's like? So he conquered the new Bloodline. What's next? Is he gonna go after Cody again? Is Rock gonna come and be involved in some kind of way? We haven't seen The Rock since Bad Blood. You know, like there's a lot of things, and I just feel like that closing this door at Survivor Series with the OG Bloodline victory, it just feels too easy, and I feel like there needs to be more at stake, especially leading into Netflix.
I feel like Roman hasn't encountered enough adversity yet.
Yeah, I agree.
I haven't. I think he's still, ascending from the fall. So I think it would be too soon if he were to go over on the new Bloodline.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's the big point right there, is that there's still a lot of story to be told. That's the point. I feel like there's still a lot of story to be told.
I mean, how long has the Bloodline been a staple?
I think it's going into its 5th year.
5 years. I mean, but this is just another notch in that belt. So.
Oh yeah, it's crazy to think that this story has been going on as long as it has, and they're keeping it, finding ways to keep it fresh. If Paul Heyman turns, that could really be crazy. That could really be crazy. So we will see where that goes. That's going down this Saturday, November 30th. It is Survivor Series War Games. And once again, a lot of moving parts that we talked about, whether it be the New Day, whether it be what's going on with the men's tag title scene, whether it be Bailey. I got a working suspicion that it could be Bailey and Naomi that conspired against Jade. You know, I think that's a possibility for me. So, I mean, a lot of things moving. And it's never the most obvious ones. Like, people are saying, oh, it was Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, or it was Nia Jackson.
It's too obvious.
Nah,
it's too
I don't
obvious.
think it was them at all.
No, their eyes are laser focused on board games. Not this time. At least not this time.
Yeah. So it's got to be somebody else. And I don't know if you saw Naomi's Twitter account, but she was mighty defensive when people were kind of pointing fingers at her. When people were saying that it was Naomi. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I'll definitely expand on that thought as we go more into that story, because we do have, once again, Survivor Series. And I got to say this, because you were talking a little bit earlier about the structure of the show. And I think that you are correct. I think that we're going to see the show open with the women's War Games match. Then after that, we could see the United States title match. Then after that, I think we'll see the IC title match. Then we will see the World Heavyweight Championship match. And then at the end, we will see Bloodline Civil War Games match. I think that's going to be the order right there. That sound solid to you, or what do you think?
Yeah. How many matches on this show are non-title matches?
The only non-title matches that are on this show are the War Games matches.
Gotcha. So, no, I think that's a pretty solid lineup. I'm gonna have to.
We got a total of 5 matches.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think it's gonna be a great show.
I feel like there have been so many things put in place for this moment. Just so many things it's just like watching the dominoes fall.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm loving it because they rounded out the show really well, like I said earlier.
And I can't wait to get Crown Jewel out of my mouth. So
yeah, for sure. I'm with you.
Rewind it, but
I think that, once again, I think I said it before Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel was for the Saudis. This show is going to be for us. It's going to be for
100%.
The wrestling fans that aren't stuck in the past. So I think it's going to be great. It's going to be epic. And I thought this episode was epic. We talked all things Monday Night Raw. We talked everything going down with the house party going down this Saturday. That's going to be epic. You guys definitely got to join us. If you guys are in the Kokomo, Indiana area, enjoy some wrestling and want to talk wrestling with people who are passionate about it, and seeing some of the stars you could be seeing on TV just in the next couple of years. So with that being said, I'm going to give the floor here to my co-host here, give her the opportunity to plug anything that she wants to plug, any upcoming appearances, podcasts, anything that you're doing. What do we got, Annie?
Every week I'm at CCW, but we will be returning December 12th to New Baltimore, Michigan for episode 128. Oh, and I got to give a shout out to Freedom Ramsey, who is just WWE ID'd, and that happened at City Championship Wrestling. So that was really cool to witness.
Awesome.
December 8th, I am at CIW in Toledo, Ohio.
Yes.
So I'll be doing that. December 14th, I will be in Marshfield, Wisconsin, again for Frontline Pro, featuring Hall of Famer, The Godfather. So if there's anything else that I'm probably not remembering, find me on social media and I'll keep you updated. So, Con, I'm going to throw it back over to you. What is cooking in your kitchen?
And you already know I'm going to be right here doing my thing here at In Your House. December is going to be turned down for me a little bit. As you guys know, if you guys are longtime listeners of the show, I turned down a little bit in December just because, it's those holidays, so I got to dig in them trenches. But you guys know I don't ever leave y'all for too long, and especially this year, I got a great team holding things down. So I'll be able to keep content flowing without me having to constantly be in and out and doing it myself. So that's the benefit of having a great team. But you guys know this Saturday it's going to be huge, man. Win some prizes, come and talk some wrestling, play games. It's going to be great, all for the love of wrestling. That is, of course, going down Outhouse Records, Kokomo, Indiana. Come see everything that we are doing because, man, This team is great. A lot of people put a lot of work into what we are doing, so I'm excited about it. We're going to have some great appearances, such as Annie O'Neill, the Chaos Goblin, Kevin Calloway, Relentless Ray Larson, and you never know who else is going to show up. So that is going to be great. It's going to be epic. Come check us out in everything that we are doing, because, you know, this is exactly what we do. We play hard because we work hard. And of course, that's HOWSC, and the W stands for work. So for Divinely Designed Danny O'Neill, for the Chaos Goblin Kevin Calloway, for Grunmeister, for the voice Josh Joseph, for Hypocrisy Jones, and for the world's most dangerous podcaster paragon, I am Alakan, the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.